Let's do it.
So we've got one that's not a new arrival, but it's a stunning car, and it caught my eye the other day, and I thought, maybe I'm going to look at doing cars that just not necessarily just came in yesterday, but just catch my eye during the week and just make a little mental note of it, and then talk about that car, because we've got so many wonderful cars, and I forget about 3/4 of them when I come in. So how about the 1941 Cadillac Series 63 Touring Sedan, black over gray? This is a stunning design. That's what caught my eyes. Is like we talked about with Donald Osborne, stance. It just had that look to it, and when you catch your eye right, that's the problem with cars parked side by side too closely together. You don't always get that 3/4 angle, which in my opinion is the best look of any car.
Yeah.
Either the front sometimes, and sometimes it can be the rear 3/4 angle.
Yeah.
Especially on that CL55 Mercedes with that curved windshield.
Right.
The actual 3/4 rear angle is the best looking part of that car.
I went to the media car show a week ago, and they had like a 51 Oldsmobile Fleetline, the fastback. It was black, and just the paint. You can tell a guy who knows how to paint if you do a black car and it looks like a mirror. It was just impeccable. And it just, wow, you walk up to it and it was like, unbelievable.
And so many times you talk to these guys who painted their car and they painted, I painted it in my barn.
Oh, sure. Yeah, with a broom.
Well, yeah, I mean, literally. But I'm talking about excellent paint jobs in an unexcellent environment. To be able to paint a car in a garage and it's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And in black, which, as you said, to your point, is that very difficult to keep it without swirls and all the imperfections you'll see in that. But yet, these guys do it in undesirable, hot outside, humid, and somehow these guys know the formula. They know the dosage. Yep. So another new arrival, or a new arrival, the 68 Dodge Monaco 500 hardtop, medium dark turquoise metallic over white. I love this car.
I do too.
This is so cool.
So different.
It is just, like we were talking about that 61 Chrysler New Yorker wagon that was at Audrain last year.
Right.
And just something unusual that you don't see very often. But it's not unobtainium. It's not out of your price range that you can't afford it. So date correct 383 cubic inch V8. Rarely seen these Monaco 500 hardtops. Very stunning presentation. Got the right stance and look and color.
Or as my friend called it, a Monaco.
Roger Miller said that would Picasso have a co-painter? Picasso. That was Mel Tillis asked Roger Miller to write. He said, Roger, you and I have been knowing each other for a long time. Let's write a song together. And Roger said to Mel Tillis, he said, did Picasso have a co-painter? So they nixed the idea of that. So I probably told that story 100 times before. So if you catch our old episode, you can tell me how I did that.
You may have heard that one before.
And if you haven't heard it, it's new to you.
It's new to you. Yeah. New to you. That's what I always say. It's, you got a new car. Well, it's new to me. Oh, what does that mean? Well, that means it's not a new car.
So you got to qualify.
But like he said about his Ferrari, the first time it got driven in its test drive, it got driven in the rain.
I was curious if Ferrari then took it back into the factory and really cleaned it underneath.
I would imagine they would have to, But of course, I don't know that they even have... what's detrimental to driving a car in the rain is the underneath stuff that we talked about, and especially if it's salt and stuff in the wintertime. But in the summertime, you would still need to clean it, but I'm not sure it's as detrimental to the underside of the car as, say, salt or sand or something that you'd get driving around here in the wintertime. So... Anyway. Can
I state the obvious?
Yeah.
Aroma is a beautiful car.
Oh my God. and the interesting thing about it is it's not the top of the heap Ferrari. It's for black. It's not the bargain Ferrari. I know that's a bad term. It's not a California by any stretch.
Right.
But it's just got a sexiness to it that it looks like a car that you would have, if you were going to draw a car and make it look like a fast racing car, then that's what you would draw. It just somehow, it's got that look and feel to it.
Not over the top. It's just, the lines are
understated.
Yep.
And the one thing I didn't ask him and I wanted to ask him about is he didn't get the Scuderia shields on the fenders, the yellow with the prancing horse on them, because it's a GT car. Well, I don't know what that means. I don't know why that a GT car shouldn't have the shields on it, because they put them on just about every Ferrari now. So podcast at classicautomall.com if you know the answer. And Donald, if you're watching and you know the answer, you can email us and tell us too. And then we'll talk about that next week. Yep. And you'll get double coverage.
Or we'll have them on again.
Or have it. Well, we should absolutely do that. So next new arrival is the 2005 Mercedes-Benz CLK500 convertible. That's the one to have, the 500, because that's got the V8 and all that good stuff. Sure. But I don't know what the name of this color is that you put down. Cuban knit silver,
Yeah.
metallic over black. Cuban knit silver, Silber.
That's a German word.
I didn't think it was an Alabama word.
They don't change their color names for us Americans.
37,000 actual miles, 5-liter V8, 302 horsepower, Daimler-Benz 5G Tronic automatic, loaded luxury car. Now, this is an affordable daily.
It is.
This is a great car to drive daily. One of our guys has a CLK500 convertible in white, Adam, and it's a great car. Good-looking car.
Nice.
Good-looking car. So, another new arrival, the 73 Mustang Mach 1, Ivy Glow over black and silver. This car is really, talk about stands out.
It does.
Man.
I was watching videos of Ford Nationals at Carlisle last weekend, and there was a whole row of Mach 1s. Not one of them was green.
Really?
So yeah,
That's
it's a really unusual car.
Speaking of Ford, is John Clore, who's kind of Ford performance guy, who we had on the show.
Year one,
many moons ago. Back
first
when
season,
season. Season 1, yes, of course, in showbiz parlance.
Right.
Season 1.
But reposted in the last year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because JR's doing that. You're the archivist.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. And he's going to be on the show again, so that'll be fun.
Cool. Awesome.
And other new arrival, the 1960 Plymouth Belvedere, 2-door hardtop, sky blue and dark blue metallic over dark and light blue. This is over-the-top styling. This thing, like I said, the Ferrari Roma is what you would draw if you're drawing a sports car. This is what you would draw if you were doing something weird. And
if you were living in the 50s, and they say draw a futuristic spaceship
car, this is what you would draw.
Exactly.
It's the rear quarter fender things are just bizarre. They're crazy.
Like a jet plane.
It really is.
Crazy.
It looks like it could take off. It quite possibly could.
If it didn't weigh, 6,000 pounds.
Well, that's just the chrome, right? Yeah. The rest of it is add on top of that. So this thing has got a long ram intake, which has got, and it's got the dual quad.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The dual quads on it, and
very cool.
As we said in the description, nothing else like it. That's right. Couldn't be more perfect thing to say.
Well, thank you.
And and last but not least, the 1981 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, night watch blue over dark blue, one owner, garage kept, window sticker, correct 305. Don't diminish the 305. It's not a terrible motor.
No, not at all.
A little performance mod you could do to it and make it, a little bit more performance. Just save the old parts.
That's true.
If you do anything to a car to upgrade it, don't make it invasive, A. And B, make sure you save the original carburetor or the original whatever brakes or the original power steering or whatever it is, the alternator, the starter, whatever it is on the car that you're going to replace, save the old one. Don't get rid of it, because if you want to ever take it back to original, which a lot of people want, then you'd want to have that, and especially with this car, because it's a time capsule. It shows 1,137 miles. Unfortunately, the title says exempt, but in looking at the car, you got to believe it's 1,137
It's
actual
minty
miles.
mint.
It's minty mint.
Like that hobnail seating, that always wore out on your Trans Am. But again, if you're buying a Trans Am from 76 to 81, you're not buying it for speed. I mean, they
weren't the fastest.
They
cars
look fast, but they're not fast. You're buying it for being a Trans Am.
It's got that look. It's definitely got a stance to it. A Trans Am always had a stance
for sure.
Also, don't forget, we've got a great promo going on with the Hollywood Casino Morgantown. Now you ask, where is the Hollywood Casino Morgantown?
Where is that,
Hollywood,
Stewart?
no?
Well, it's a rock throw. We don't throw a rock because they have a lot of windows, and so do we. But it's a rock throw from here. You literally, if you could throw a rock across the turnpike, which I'm sure you couldn't. You might be able to. I'd probably throw my arm out.
Not at this time.
And you can't miss it. Now, you might miss a little Ferris wheel or something where there's a park taking place nearby this weekend.
Yeah, but other than that, because our lack of awareness that we have sometimes in driving is no wonder there's so many wrecks. But anyway, we won't pick on Steve too much longer. I was down in Florida recently driving a Suburban and going way too fast down a 4-lane highway with a divider in it, and looked up. I don't know why I was looking down, and there was traffic dead stopped, and I had to change lanes without looking. And luckily, nothing was right beside me. And luckily, I didn't. I mean, it would have been horrible. But it's a matter, folks. I'm not a preacher. I don't talk about stuff that you shouldn't do. But do not text and drive. Do not look away when you're driving, because things can happen in a heartbeat.
And it's illegal now in Pennsylvania.
It is. They just passed that law.
You can't even hold your phone when you're stopped at a light.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You cannot touch your phone.
Well, I would argue the stopped at light.
Now, for the first year, they're only going to give you warnings,
right?
And then after that, after a year from now, they're going to start.
Well, they do the same thing with the construction zones. They have these cars with this contraption on top of it, and it's these big lights and a camera. And if you're going 12 miles or over the 55 speed limit down the turnpike, then they send you a warning, and then the next one is not a warning.
I got one.
I got the warning. That's luckily I'm smart enough. And I see guys pass me and go,
you're going to get a letter.
You're going to get a letter.
He's just ahead.
From the government.
From the government. So anyway, the Hollywood Casino, Morgantown, right across the street. We're doing a promotion with them now until Saturday, July 26th is the drawing date at 9 p.m. So if you're...
what could you win?
You could win a $40,000 credit to Classic Auto Mall.
Yikes.
So you could come over here and buy a $60,000 car and only pay $20,000 for it. Or you could buy a $38,000 car and pay nothing for it.
Awesome.
Or exactly a $40,000 car and it's an even Steven deal.
That's cool.
And or you can take it in credit at the casino, full disclosure. If you don't
keep playing.
And keep playing and maybe you'll win something else. But it's a really cool, we pre-order, and we have two cool vehicles, a 79 Jeep
Golden Eagle.
Golden Eagle. I had a little mind meld on that.
That's all right.
Wrangler.
And orange, as I like to say. And then the other car's an 81 Z28 in chocolate.
It's sharp.
It's not really chocolate, but we were worried about the Z28 over there because it kind of blends in a little bit, yet people gravitate to it almost as much as the bright orange Jeep, whatever.
Again, the paint's so shiny when you walk in. Even though the car is dark, all the lights in the casino just bounce off of it.
And also coming up September the 19th, the Classic Auto Mall auction. Now you say, what are we doing in the auction business? Well, we're not really in the auction business. We're just going to thin the herd a little bit. We've got some barn find, non-runner, no titles, as is, where is, times.
But it's not junk. I took a look today. There's some really good stuff.
And there's some great military stuff that we have here, too. Unfortunately, there's a lot of missing titles because, let me get here preaching again.
Get up on that.
Save your paperwork. Make sure you put it in a place that everybody knows where it is because when you're gone, it creates difficulties and it hurts the value. If you sell a vehicle without a title, even though the guy's going to pay less money because it doesn't have a title.
Sure.
And a lot of people buying these cars just for parts. I get that. I mean, look, if we always said we could take all these cars and part them out and make more money, but if you ever tried to ship a bumper to California, it's not a pleasant experience.
No.
So
just find a box that'll fit in for one.
So go to our website in about a couple of weeks, which would be, what are we now, June 12th, 13th?
June 11th?
11th. So probably by July 1st. Everything will be up on the website and all the details, and you can register to bid, and you can bid in person, online, or via telephone. And we'll look forward to having you come to our auction. And we're going to serve you a big buffet breakfast before the sale at 11 o'clock.
Got the auction. I always think of somebody radio talk. It's an auctioneer in the background.
It's an auctioneer in the background. So
Old American.
Yeah.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden.